Hello my friend, thanks for being here. If you've watched my videos before, you probably, you can see my style is very kind of art journal-y, if that's a word. I like to capture my day or the feeling of the day in an art form, in a visual way. And then I usually chuck it on my wall because it makes me feel like I've achieved something. It makes me think, oh yeah, I'm an artist and I make stuff and here it is in front of me. It's really helpful, you should try it. Definitely put your art on your wall around you if you can. But sometimes you just don't have a lot of time to get really stuck into things. But it doesn't stop me wanting to still capture the day. Or, for example, I went to a festival yesterday and I want to really capture what happened for me during the day because it's still a lot of things to process, and I feel like drawing it is a really helpful way for me to process it. I have my actual journal here and I can't show you. I can't show you what's inside this. No, I can't. But I'm gonna journal today, but in a different way. I'm going to draw journal. No, I'm going to visual journal. Journaling is a great way to process your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts about things, and as you're having to reflect on it, you get a chance to see more or understand more about your experience. So I've been literally journaling and writing journaling for 24 years. 24 years. And I love it and I swear by it, but that's just my own practice. Not everybody likes to write. If you're watching this, you probably like to draw. So we're gonna draw journal. I'm just making this up. We're gonna draw journal. I have my actual journal and my mini notebook that I take with me everywhere in my bag because I made some notes yesterday when I was at this festival so that I remember what it is that I really want to capture, because my brain just the memories just leave my brain. So let's just make sure that it's a clear blank page. All my secrets. So to preface this, I usually take my favorite pen and I have a whole page to myself with no lines. I can draw whatever I want to, and I get to just draw out the timeline of the day and just picking out pieces that really stood out to me at the time. Maybe it was something somebody said to me, it was a particular feeling that I was having at a particular time, I bought a particular kind of food, whatever it is, and I draw that out as a way of capturing kind of the standout pieces from the day. And then we're left with a whole page that describes the experience, and it's kind of fun to follow along. And it's much easier to look at than a whole page of words and notes. It's way more user-friendly.
I like to start out top left of the page because we read from left to right, so I guess I follow along in the drawing from left to right. And this is saying, I could really do without this today, because as I was starting out on my day yesterday on the way to Spirit Fest, I just didn't have the energy for it. I was feeling a lot of resistance to going to this festival. I thought that I didn't have enough time, and it was one of those things that you book in advance and you just assume you're going to have a great time. And when it came to it, I was like, oh no, do I really feel like this? But the scenery as I drove by was just so beautiful in this area of New Zealand, and I was blown away by just how lucky I am to live here and how gorgeous it was. So that really lifted me up and reminded me of why I came out and chose to be there that day. And this is one of the tents that were at the festival, and it was a very popular tent. I'm populating it with figures, if that's what you can see there. And it was a breathwork tent. And I don't know if you've done breathwork before, but it is just a workshop about breathing. This is me lying down on my mat, surrounded by loads of other people also doing the same thing, and we were taken through a workshop with the facilitator on how to do a particular style of breathing. And this type of breathing was called conscious connection, where you don't take a pause in between breathing in or breathing out. And it brings up a lot of somatic traumas or emotions and experiences in the body, for me anyway. And I really wanted to capture this visually because whilst I was lying on the mat, eyes closed, having my little breathing experience for 1 hour, I did a lot of crying. And the facilitator, so much so that the facilitator came and held me from behind, and she put her hands over my heart. And I really wanted to capture this because it was so beautiful. I was really having a lot of emotion to process because unfortunately I lost my dad last year, and I think that was coming out of me in this breathwork workshop, and I was really processing letting him go fully. And I've drawn a star here for Dad because he really felt light to me. It felt like I was saying goodbye in a different way. And I was experiencing really tingly arms and hands, and we were listening to all this music that was going through the different, well, it was supposed to be going through the different chakras of the body. And throughout this time, I also had a lot of pain come up in my chest behind my heart, and that seemed to be moving through and left my body, which was great. I also experienced some anger around feeling unwanted or unsupported. So I was really releasing a lot of old stuff that was coming up for me during this whole experience, whilst lying on grass, on yoga mats, surrounded by loads of other people. The facilitator at the very end would say, welcome home, everybody, trying to get us all to come back to the room, come back to the present moment. And I really was so spaced out. I didn't feel like I was coming home. I was like, this doesn't feel like home. This feels really strange to me. And I was trying to wipe off the energy from my arms, which is this wiping motion that I'm trying to capture. I felt a lot of buzzing around my body, and I had to move my hips and yawn and move my jaw to try and shake off the energy. It was a really crazy experience because at the end of the day, no drugs were taken. This was just from breathing, just from breath. But afterwards, I felt really light and heavy at the same time, which was the most strangest, bizarre feeling. But I did really feel good and like I had had a huge release. I was also starving, so I really wanted to capture this experience today visually because it was so moving for me.
Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I really hope that you enjoyed that today as a kind of new approach to journaling, and it gives you some inspiration to do something like that for yourself. I'm so grateful for your comments, your likes. It's so beautiful to hear from you all around the world, and it warms my heart. And if you're new here, then please like and subscribe because it really means a lot when I know that actually these videos can make just a little bit of difference to your life and a little bit of quality is being added here. And if you let me know, then that really means the world to me. I just about forgot my ending there. I hope that the rain isn't being picked up on the video because it's pouring with rain. A beautiful summer's day. Now it stops raining.